Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. If you're planning a trip to Europe soon, you need to know about some important changes coming up. Travel rules are changing for the EU and the UK, and the Schengen Zone is getting bigger. Don't worry, I'm going to break it all down for you in simple terms, so you're totally prepared. First up, let's talk about the European Union. If you're not from an EU country, get ready for a new system called the Entry/Exit System, or EES for short. Think of it as a new way to enter and leave the EU. Right now, when you enter or leave the EU, they stamp your passport. The EES is going digital. Instead of stamps, they'll use computers. When you cross an EU border, you'll use automated kiosks. You'll register your entry and exit, and you'll need to provide your face scan and fingerprints. This is for short trips, like holidays, if you're staying less than 90 days and you're not from the EU. This new system is expected to start in phases from autumn 2025. Just be aware, at first, this might mean a bit longer wait times at borders while everyone gets used to it. Also for the EU, there's something else called ETIAS. That stands for European Travel Information and Authorization System. Think of it like a travel pass you need to get before you go. If you're from countries that don't need a visa to visit Europe for short trips, places like the USA, Canada, Australia, New Zealand, and the UK after Brexit, and Ukraine if you have a biometric passport, you'll need to apply for European Travel Information and Authorization System online before you travel. It's going to cost €7, which is about £6 or $7 US. If you're under 18 or over 70, it's free. Once you get it, it is valid for 3 years or until the travel document you used in your application expires. Airlines and cruise companies will check if you have this pass before they let you travel. European Travel Information and Authorization System is expected to start around mid to fall 2025. So, if you're planning a trip then, make sure to check if you need to apply. Now, if you need a Schengen visa, you must have travel insurance that covers at least €30,000, approximately $33,000, for medical expenses. This insurance must be valid in all Schengen countries and cover your entire trip. It should also include coverage for medical repatriation, transporting you back home for medical reasons, emergency medical care, and hospitalization. Now, let's hop over to the UK. The UK is bringing in something similar to ETIAS, called ETA, Electronic Travel Authorization. This is already in place for some nationalities, like people from the USA who've needed one since January 8th, 2025. But starting April 2nd, 2025, citizens from the EU and countries like Switzerland and Iceland will also need an ETA to visit the UK. Irish citizens are the exception, they don't need one. You apply online or using an app before you travel, even if you're just passing through the UK. It costs £10, which is about $12 US, and it's good for 2 years or until your passport expires, whichever is sooner, letting you visit the UK multiple times for up to 6 months each time. They say most applications are quick, but it's always best to apply in advance. Finally, some good news for travel in Europe. The Schengen Zone is getting bigger. Romania and Bulgaria have joined. If you don't know, the Schengen Zone is like a group of countries where you can travel without showing your passport at every border. Think of it as traveling between states in a country, no border checks. This means if you have a Schengen visa, you can now also use it to visit Romania and Bulgaria. Okay, now let's talk about something that might affect your budget: tourist taxes. Lots of popular places in Europe are introducing new or increased taxes in 2025. This is often to help manage crowds and protect the environment. For example, if you're going to Venice, they are increasing their tourist tax, especially if you book your trip last minute. Greece is raising their daily tourist tax, especially in the busy summer months. It could be up to €8 a day extra. In Spain, places like Barcelona and the Balearic Islands are increasing their taxes. Even the Canary Islands are bringing in a new eco-tax. Portugal is seeing tax changes too. Madeira is adding a tax to hiking trails, and the Azores just introduced a tourist tax this year. Paris is changing how they calculate tourist tax, so it could be higher depending on where you stay. And Amsterdam has already increased their tourist tax to a pretty hefty percentage of your hotel cost. Even in the UK, things are changing. Edinburgh in Scotland is set to be the first UK city with a tourist tax, starting in 2026, but affecting bookings made from late 2025. It will be a percentage of your accommodation cost. Other UK cities are thinking about it too. So what does this mean for you? Basically, when you're planning your European trip in 2025, you need to factor in these extra taxes. They can add up, especially in popular spots and during peak season. Remember, these rules can change, so always check official government websites for the latest details before you travel. Hope this helps you plan your European trips. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions. Safe travels, and I'll see you in the next video.